Good morning, fellow prospectors. We're on our way back down to No Tell'em Creek. A beautiful sunrise behind us. And as you can tell out the window, we're pretty much crossing the area that the glaciers, their final resting place. It is flat. But see the trees back there, but off in the distance you see the hills, which is everything that they had pushed up. But I'm by myself today, and we might try to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to try to maybe go into a branch that comes off of what I call No Tell'em Creek. I've test mated it before, found some collar, but I want to go in there. Nobody's ever had any equipment there. The only testing ever done has been hand and pan. So I want to go in there, and if I can find a pocket of water to pull from, I'll try to do a recirculating, because normally there's not running water unless there's a heavy rain. And we're going to do some power testing today, hopefully. I don't, the old rundown four-wheeler trail going back in there might be inaccessible. I haven't been back there in over a year, but hopefully we get back there, do some running, get some quartz samples, because there's literally quartz laying everywhere. But let's see how we go. Well, I've done a little bit of scouting ahead, coming up this ravine here, heading back after the high banker, because I kind of left it and went down to the bottom, kind of walked up through there, checking it out. A lot of big pieces of bedrock pushed up through there, just really truthfully inaccessible with the cart. So I was on my way back out. Look at this big old slab of rose quartz. Yeah, this is just kind of laying in the middle of this secondary trail here. Like I said, this ravine is just clear. It's just loaded with quartz. But I'm going to get back here and get the high banker and get back to heading up in there. Well, that took a minute to get set up, but I've dug a hole here. There's literally just a trickle in this creek, but I dug a hole here probably about 18-20 inches deep, and I'm having to run it around to recirculate. I'm just barely running a hair over an idle, and these are some pretty sharp bends. It comes around here real sharp, and then boom, here sharp. It snakes right around. It just does that for the next 150 yards. But there is probably, within a 50-yard section here, there's probably about 20 foot in elevation drop. It's flat right here, and from here to here, there's probably at least 6 foot. And you can see all the cobble that's built up. And there's chunks of bedrock. I moved a chunk earlier. Here's some. Here's a big piece of bedrock. There's a little bit of everything when it comes to rock in here. I did come into some gray clay. And just digging the hole for the intake hose. Big old piece of quartz. A lot of iron in it. So that's one sample going home. Found another little nice piece there. Here's a piece of white quartz. And that was just out of the one hole here. It's literally everywhere. I go upstream just a little ways at Forks. I test panned around to the left a little over a year ago. And yeah, it's everywhere. But I've ran about one bucket full. I just threw what I was digging out of here into a pan because I was pulling up some big old rock. Yeah, I don't know if I can come back here all the time. If I was coming out and going to spend a couple days, it'd be great. But it literally took me 45 minutes to get in here. Being the first time I've been in here with equipment. I started out up here. And it was just sucking the hole dry just as fast as I'd started up. So I did build a little dam to kind of hold the water in there. And I brought it around to recirculate. So that took another 40 minutes. And I haven't really got to do anything yet. Got my exercise. But let's get to shoveling. Well, we stopped after 2 buckets. Well, we did probably about a half a bucket setting everything up when we were up here on the bank. And then I moved it down there. We done 2 buckets. I just barely made a hole here. I moved one rock out of the way. Probably about 3/4 the way full both times. And then I want to do a cleanup to see if we were on anything. Like I said, the main creek I normally work in's probably about 350, 400 yards that way. And this is dry throughout the summer. But this come out of 2 buckets. Some pretty nice little pieces in there. Now the clay seems to be what I'm running into as a bedrock. I haven't hit it here, but I did go on the lower part of this right here, and the sides are already clay. There wasn't really any material on it. So I just come up here and punched a hole. The clay's a little sporadic, but it's not solid. But there is a lot of clay in there. And of course, a lot of quartz. I'm still tossing quartz up here. Here's another piece. Here's another big piece. A lot of the quartz that I found the last time I was here looked like it was broke straight out of the vein. But I haven't explored enough to see if there's actually a vein up in here. But I'm going to get back to running. Alright, Dennis, you know where I'm at. He was talking about quartz a while back. Big chunk of bedrock. Quartz. Iron. This thing's huge. Probably weighs about 40 pounds. Well, you can see me flip up out of the hole I was digging. Like I said, this stuff's everywhere. It's rough. Not been tumbled. You know, it's not in the main creek. I'd like to find the source of that. I ran about 6 or 7 more buckets. And does it clear up there? Some more nice flakes. Those were just in the miner's moss up at the top underneath the punch plate. Oh. And I still got all that was underneath the miner's moss. The wind's picking up, branches are starting to break. Well, I'm going to clean this up and maybe run for about another half hour and start heading out of here. Hopefully it don't take me as long getting out as it did coming in. At least going out's mainly downhill. But let's get this thing cleaned up. Got to keep her yellow. Yellow's looking good. Alright, I'm going to try to do this on film. I don't know if you can see. There's some buckshot in there. Gold popping out already. A lot of buckshot. Well, I don't know how well you can see it all. I love that yellow. And I even washed some down. Nice flakes. Probably 1/8 inch across. And some real big pepper. Heck yeah, I'm going to run for about another half hour. I want some more of that. Same deal as before. This is just out of that little piece of miner's moss. A few little pepper pieces. Still got a lot of material underneath it. We only run about, well, we ran 4 more 1/2 to 3/4 buckets. Let's see what we got in this. This is probably our biggest cleanup for the year. Well, most of us here in Ohio would be content with that in a single cleanup. That's some pretty decent size, chunky little pepper pieces in there. And you already seen what come out of the top. That was out of 4 1/2 to 3/4 full buckets. I'll get it all in there here in a minute and I'll get some more video. Well, it's 12 o'clock now. By the time we got up here, got set up, it was about 9:35, 9:40. So a little over 2 hours. Very happy with the cleanup. I know there's some micros floating around in there that the camera's probably not picking up. Nice chunky pieces. Well, we're getting ever so closer to hitting our 300 mark. I think we were at 273 this morning. And I'm very grateful. So we hit that 300, we'll do some sort of giveaway. You know, maybe one of these hats or something. So, thanks for watching. We'll keep them coming. And I'm really excited about this spot. Besides, it's a pain in the rear to get everything up here. So, till next time. Thanks for watching Dyer Gold Prospecting. Keep it yellow.